How cultures works. When we travel to any country, it's important to know how culture works in order to try to understand it better. First of all, we should know what is culture. Kruber and Kluckhout, 1952, made a survey into 300 studies in order to come up with a unified definition of cultures. But it fails, since it cannot be only one definition of culture. However, the Capua and Winterworks 2004 describe it as a shared beliefs, norms, and attitudes that guide a group of people's behavior and help explain their world. Also, Stella Tintomi, 1999, defined it as a complex frame of reference that consists of parents, traditions, beliefs, values, norms, symbols, and meanings that change to vary degrees by integrating members of a community. In addition to all the aspects like beliefs, traditions, and norms that had been mentioned before, Hofstede 2002 categorized five dimensions of cultures. First one, identity. This is defined how the culture behave regarding the individualism and collectivism. According to Tim Toomey, 1997, individualism stressed the focus on personal goals, achievements, and needs over the group. An example of this culture are countries like United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, Spain, and Germany, among others. On the other hand, we have collectivisms that emphasize family and group work goals over individual needs or desires. Collectivistic cultures are countries such as Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, Japan, China, South Korea, and India, among others. Those countries encourage dependence as a way to promote harmony and cooperation within the group.
Tim Tomey described it as the degree of acceptance of the unequal distribution of power. Small power distance. In this kind of cultures, people tend to value an equal distribution of power, equal rights, and they consider that the reward or punishment depend on how a task is executed. On the other hand, we had large power distance societies. In this kind of culture, people accept an unequal distribution of power. The punishments or rewards are determined by the age, rank, and status. They allow inequalities of power and wealth. Social gender role. In traditional gender roles, men are supposed to be forceful, tall, and materialistic, while women are expected to be humble and sensitive. When we look at this dimension, we are thinking of the degree of acceptance in which a society reinforces the idea of the traditional male or woman role in aspects like control and power. The next dimension is true value, and is divided in strong and weak uncertainty avoidance. The first one refers to the societies in which their members feel uncomfortable by uncertain situations or about the future. People try to avoid to be on the spot or to take risks. On the other hand, weak uncertainty societies promote risk-taking, and they feel comfortable when they are in the spotlight.
The last one is virtue. It refers to the time perspective and the attitude of perseverance of a society. It is divided into two, long-term and short-term orientation. According to Tim Toomey, 1999, cultures that have a long-term orientation tend to stress social order, respect hierarchy, and focus on long-term outcomes. For example, Daniel saves money for the future in order to buy a house. Also, he thinks that his president is the best. On the other hand, short-term orientation cultures tend to emphasize personal survival, do not respect hierarchy, practice short-term planning, and focus on short-term outcomes. For example, Peter spends all the money that he earns and he does not save up money for the future. Also, he thinks that his president is not a competent person. In conclusion, traveling around the world is not an issue of money or time. It is also an issue of basic knowledge about the identity, hierarchy, social gender role, true values, and virtue of the place that you want to visit in order to have an efficient intercultural approach.